everybody, and welcome back to the other side of rock bottom. I'm Kathy, and if you're new here, this is where we sit down with real people who've been through some of life's darkest moments: addiction, trauma, rock bottom, and found their way to the other side. Today, I'm sitting with my friend, Miss Teri. I've been looking forward to this conversation because Teri's story is one of those that makes you say, wow, if she can do that, maybe, just maybe I can too. So, Teri, thank you for being here, girl. So, let's start from the beginning. What was life like for you growing up? Kind of paint us a picture. What kind of girl were you? What was home life like?
So I grew up with both my parents. I was a very spoiled and privileged child. I'm an only child at that. Um, I was involved in sports. I got to go on vacations. I got to do all the things. My parents are still together to this day. Um, I came from a very loving home, but also a very strict home. So, what I say goes, and because I said so, were daily things that I heard in the house. Um, there also wasn't a whole lot of options or choices. It was do this, do it like this, and do it now. However, um, I still, I can't complain about my childhood. I cannot complain about it. I had everything I could have wanted and then some.
All right. So, when did drugs or alcohol first come into the picture for you? Was it casual or did it grab hold?
So it was casual at first. That longing to want to fit in because after so long of you did good, but you could have done better. Um, that feeling of inadequacy that we start out feeling, or for me at least, that's what drugs and alcohol fixed for me and made me feel normal. They made me feel like I have arrived. That's so cliche, but that is exactly how it was for me. So it started off recreational with like marijuana and stuff like that, just to fit in with the crowd that I was in. And then of course, like it started, or it went from there. It went to like, well, I'm going to have a drink at this party. And then I would say by my junior year of high school, um, I was either getting trashed at a party every weekend after work, or uh, I was, you know, drinking before football games or just doing those kinds of things. But by my senior year, I was taking pain pills every single weekend. But I thought because it was the weekend that it wasn't a problem. I didn't know about addiction. I didn't know. I didn't know. I come from a huge family and there's a lot of undiagnosed of that in there. I didn't know. It, we're having family get togethers and everybody's getting trashed. My parents didn't, but everybody else is. So, I just didn't know. But that's when it started and my behavior started to change. And I started to stop caring about the things that I cared about, like good grades. I just started letting little things slip. My attitude changed. Just things like that. But I remember when it really took hold. Um, my son was born on June 17th of 2007. Um, by the second week of July, I had moved back into my parents' house. Me and his dad had split up, and my dream of this white picket fence family that was never going to happen, because of the type of person that I had my son with, and all of the different factors on that side, as well as why we were even together in the first place. Like that they weren't going to allow that to happen, but I couldn't see that. So I'm like crushed. And What was said to me was, you're not the same girl I fell in love with. What I heard was, you don't look the same. So I quickly found my way back to pain pills. The timing of this is right when like the pill mills and stuff were huge. So it was extremely potent pain pills. And then I decided that because remember, what I heard and what was said were two different things. So what I heard was you don't look the same. So I decided to get back to the body type that I was before. And that is when I found methamphetamine. And it just, the combination just grabbed hold and it didn't let go for a very long time.
So what was life like during that time, day to day? What were you going through mentally, emotionally, physically?
I maintained for a while. For one, I lived at home with my kid. My parents enabled a lot. They didn't know. They didn't know. Um, I worked. It wasn't until I would say he was about a few months over a year old, and I lost control of that. I stopped wanting to go to work. And I couldn't afford what I wanted to do. So I found somebody that was into the same stuff I was in and had the means to make it happen. And I thought, oh, we're going to make this work. We're going to do all of the things. And I can't say that I sat there in misery all of that time because I didn't know how to be a mom. I was a kid. And and it was still fun at that time. It was still fun running around in the streets all night long, thinking I was some big dealer, making this with my boyfriend in a 2 liter bottle. Like those kinds of things was still fun and appealing, even through the first handful of consequences that came from it, because there was no real consequences. It was a slap on the wrist. Or, okay, you took my kid, but my parents have him, and now I'm going to get it back. And I never, it took a long time after my addiction kicked off for the real misery to set in. Um, I was still searching for that. I was still searching for it. I just needed to be accepted. I needed to feel right. Like I just
Right.
needed to feel that way. So when my addiction first took over, one, I didn't know that's what it was. And two, I got this. I got this. I can do it. You know, I can stop whenever I want. Um, so the the feelings, thoughts, and emotions, they just weren't there yet. They just weren't there.
So let me ask you this. What was your rock bottom, the moment when you said, I can't fucking do this no more?
Um, let's see.
Or
Okay.
was it a series of rock bottoms?
So I have had a series of rock bottoms that had trapdoors and basements and sub basements and all that. I have been incarcerated a few handful of times. I have had consequence after consequence. I've lost so many people that I loved, friends, all of that. So there was all of those things. But I want to share this part because I know there's so many people that go through this. I want to share this part. I have a son who, my family, thank God, they adopted him and they've raised him and they have done amazing and they're so good to him, so good to him. And I just could not stop. I didn't know there was another way, and I didn't stop. I knew I was in some legal trouble, so it was just better to do it that way. I did what was best for the whole situation at one time. And that's not an unpopular opinion sometimes, but that's just what my truth is. So um I did that. I ended up behind bars, and when I got out, that was when I got out, not long after that, I got my first taste of treatment, my first taste of what recovery was about. I had no interest in it still, none. Didn't want nothing to do with it. but I got my first taste of it. And it didn't stick. And we're talking about like there was a few in this time frame between that particular incident and this rock bottom that I I can still see so vividly. So fast forward a few years, I find out I'm still in trouble. Just got out of another treatment facility, and I find out that I'm pregnant again. And I with both pregnancies, I thought, oh, I'll just take care of it. But the money, the time, I had drugs and alcohol ruled my life. They just ruled it. Everything I did, I had to do those before, after, during, whatever. Um, and I remember it was far past the point, far past the point. Don't get me wrong, I was tiny when I was pregnant with my last baby. And you couldn't tell until I turned to the side. But I remember standing in the mirror. I had just gotten out of the shower and I was trying to get high. I was trying to find a spot to get high. And I just so happened to catch a glimpse of myself in a full body mirror in my little studio apartment that was a shithole. And I just remember seeing all the bruises and the track marks and the scars and this pregnant belly. And the only place that I could find was in my belly. And I just remember thinking, this is this is heavy and this is low. I have never felt this just disgusted by myself. I was just sick of life, sick of myself. I hated everything about it. And it took me a few more days after that, and I made the decision that I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna get it. They say there's a program that'll detox me and all this stuff. And I made the first phone call. And just it to be completely transparent, I still didn't make it there for a couple months. I think I had right around 60 days sober when my daughter was born. So
Wow. So was it a program, a person, an event? What led to your new chapter?
oh man, it was a chain of events. It was a chain of events. My longtime boyfriend had gotten out of prison. We were on again, off again. And he had cancer, and it was terminal, but that's not what got him. And so that was like the first real like jolt. Um, and then you know, that moment of looking in the mirror. There was that one. And then there was all these other little things like that just were, it was just a tiny little bit of this and that everywhere that just kind of pushed me to give me enough courage to make that phone call. And I have a very dear friend of mine, very dear. Our sobriety dates are not far apart. She's in the exact same boat as I was. And we both decided that we were going to call the same place. It's a program. It is I live in Kentucky. It is through Norton's. It is maternal opiate substance treatment program. And I called them. They medically detoxed me, sent me to inpatient treatment, and that is where it began. That was the start of my second chance at a very, very beautiful life.
Wow. So what were those first few days and weeks in recovery? What were they like for you? Was it
Oh my
instant
gosh.
relief or was it kind of hard to settle into a new way of living?
So the first few days I spent in a hospital being medically detoxed. And I spent the whole time trying to figure out how I could weasel my way out of going to treatment. Like this is one of my things that I said at word, probably word for word. I can recite a lot of the big book, so I already know everything they're going to teach me in there. And I had this amazing coordinator, I guess is what you would call her. She's no longer with that program anymore, but she saved my life that day. She looked me dead in my eyes and she said, "Girl, you were just shooting heroin a couple days ago. Pipe down and let us save your life." And I remember thinking, I wouldn't let anybody talk to me like that normally, but okay, you got a point. So I let them send me to this treatment facility with the intentions of like I'm going to do the bare minimum and I'm going to get out of here and I'm going to go home. I'm going to have this baby and then I'm going to do what I want if I don't like it. Um, so I went on to that treatment facility. Amazing workers. It's the first treatment facility I went to where like I felt like I belonged there. I completed that one and I'm like a week out from completing and I'm insistent on going home to my mom's and dad's. I'm insistent. And somebody called in that day and they brought a tech over from the sister house, which happened to house pregnant and parenting women. And she come over and she was telling me all about this house, all about it. She sold me on it. I left that treatment facility and went straight to that one as soon as I completed it. I completed 2 treatment facilities in a row. The second one was just as amazing. I had my daughter while I was there and I got to bring her back with me and get set in a routine. But, you know, I'm sure I was a handful because I remember those old habits are hard to break. Those thinking patterns, they don't just go away just because we remove drugs and alcohol. Our thinking is our problem. We are the problem. The drugs and alcohol are only a symptom.
Right, right. So what have been some of your biggest challenges in staying sober, right? How do you handle them today?
Well, I am not equipped to deal with extreme emotions. I only know one emotion, and that's anger. And I'm getting better at it. I can identify it now. And with the help of support groups, with the help of the strong women that I have in my life, and with the help of the people that I surround myself with that know me and understand me, and they don't take anything to heart. They can recognize the signs. I'm able to identify and get to the bottom of it. I will say this, um, becoming becoming the mom I was always meant to be hasn't been easy. It hasn't been easy. I have a son. Shout out to him. He's in boot camp right now. So proud of him. Hopefully he's our future Marine. So, but mending that relationship with him, man, that was a challenge. That was a challenge. It took patience, persistence, perseverance. That was a challenge. Becoming a productive member of society, working, paying taxes. I didn't know how to do those things. Uh,
Mhm.
yeah, I worked jobs before. I did, and for decent periods of time. But to actually be a valued, trusted employee and not just an opener or a closer that wasn't allowed to do anything extra. I'm a trusted employee today. I have a key to my work. They value my opinion. They value me. They just took me on a vacation, all of us on a vacation, and gave us a breakaway. It was amazing. But it's just been little everyday things that normal people, those normal ones, that it comes easy to them, I guess. So for me, every day is like a celebration, like cleaning the house. I'm grateful. Doing laundry, I'm grateful. Getting told by my daughter in the middle of Walmart, where she tells a strange man about my tampons. Like those amazing things that would either drive somebody crazy or that is their everyday life are just mind blowing to me.
Right. Well, listen, that leads to my next question. What are some more of the biggest blessings you've gotten in recovery?
Oh man. Let's see. I have a connection with a higher power. I call him God. I probably have a totally different outlook than a lot of people, and that's all right. He's mine. It's good. He loves me. Um, I have friends. I have women who care about me, not what I bring to the table, or not how much money we're going to make, or how high I can get you. Um, I am in a committed relationship. Um, I didn't say this in any part of my story, but I was a escort hooker, whatever you want to call me. Um, and today I have been in a committed relationship for 3 years. I have not stepped out. I have not like it has been a complete lifestyle change. I also have mended relationships. I think those have been my biggest blessings. My parents at one point had to just go ahead and accept that I was going to die an addict, and that's how they treated me. I wasn't the first one to get called. I wasn't the first one to get invited to anything, if I even got invited at all. That relationship is amazing. My mom is my best friend. My mom would walk through hell beside me now. My dad, I disappointed him so bad that it made him physically ill. And today I take my dad to doctor's appointments. I think he just does it because he knows he can say what he wants to me. It doesn't hurt my feelings like it does my mom's, but I'll take it.
Right,
Um,
right.
yeah, just it's just the little things that people, even normal people, take for granted. I find the most joy in it. I might get aggravated. Don't get me wrong. I love my kids. They are three of my biggest blessings. But there ain't a time in the day where I'm like, oh, you get on my nerves. But I'm grateful. I'm grateful that I'm still here and that they get to get on my nerves today. I'm grateful for the opportunity to be their mom so that they can get on my nerves. Like, I'm just grateful for all of the things today, even the things that are inconveniences or the things that set me back. I'm grateful for all of it. And I wasn't
Well,
grateful for nothing in my active addiction unless it was the dope man showing up on time.
throughout your whole share, I have heard an underlying theme. And everything you say, I'm grateful. What is gratitude? Why is that important to you?
Man, it has been a game changer. Um, I think I white knuckled it for the first while in sobriety, and I did the meetings and I said all the things and I worked the steps, but I felt it's not that I felt it was brought to my attention, and now it is clear as day that I was entitled. I felt very entitled. I felt entitled to a pat on the back because I'm 30 days sober. Don't get me wrong. 30 days sober is an amazing accomplishment, especially for someone who didn't want to be sober at all. And I'm not minimizing anybody's time whatsoever. However, normal people are not going to pat us on the back for that. Our community will. Our community will pat us on the back for 24 hours. Um, so finding that sense of community, that sense of belonging, that God-sized hole being filled, um, I don't want to let anything negative back in there. And I am a firm believer that a grateful heart has no room for hate. And that is one of my favorite sayings that I have ever been told. And it's true. I don't know if anybody else can relate to this, but I can be in any situation where it just seems like I'm never going to get over this, or how many times have we had a phone call about my son's journey, and I'm just like so emotional, like, and the minute that you reach out, the minute you reach out to God, the minute that you start to be grateful for every little thing, and the minute that you reconnect with your higher power, it changes everything. And God, how can you not have a connection with him and be grateful and see the wonder of this life?
Oh, good. That's powerful. All right, listen, I know somebody right now might be watching that is saying, okay, that's good for her, right? But I can't do this, right? She don't understand what it's like for me. This is my story. It's different. It's you don't understand, you don't get it. What would you say to them?
Um, Man, I'm just going to be real transparent here, real raw and real right now. Um, if a IV, heroin and meth hooker, just low life homeless person of a shell of a person can do this and make a beautiful life, so can you. You can live your life just like I live mine, with the wonder of a child. Every day is a new day. Every day is amazing. It's not always great, but it's still amazing. Like, every day is lived with a childlike wonder, and that is just indescribable. It just takes a little bit of work. And it's not even physical work. It's the work inside. It's the work inside that heals you. It just takes some healing. It's not always easy, but it is so rewarding and so worth it.
Well said, my friend. Well said. And listen, here's what I love to end.
I can't hear you, Miss Kathy. I'm sorry.
Can you hear me now?
Barely.
Okay. Not sure. All right. So anyway, what I was saying, there we go. Sorry about the technical difficulty, guys. What I like to end with every interview. Miss Teri, tell me, what does the other side of rock bottom mean to you?
The other side of rock bottom is amazing. It is amazing, and it is a journey with no definite destination. You can go as far as you're willing to work to get. Um, and like I said, that childlike wonder that I get to live every day with, man, I wouldn't trade it.
That's amazing and that's powerful. And thank you so much for being so real and so open today. I know this wasn't easy to share, but I promise you it's going to help somebody take their first step toward freedom. Listen, guys, if you're watching this and it touched your heart, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who needs hope today. You never know. Your share could be the thing that changes someone's life. And remember, no matter where you're at, it's never too late to turn things around. There's always a way forward, and there's always a beautiful life waiting for you on the other side of rock bottom. We'll see you next time.
Are you terrified to face tomorrow? Some mornings feel impossible. But even in the darkest moments, hope is closer than you think. You're not alone. There's hope. Written by Kathy Simmons, a certified recovery coach, Welcome to Recovery is your powerful guide to reclaiming your life. With real stories, practical tools, and compassionate insight, this book lights the way, one page at a time. Whether you're beginning, recommitting, or supporting someone through recovery, find hope, clarity, and strength within these pages. Step into your new chapter. Welcome to Recovery. Take the first step. Get your copy of Welcome to Recovery today and begin your journey to hope.